All right. Hold on. Good evening, Michigan fans out there, and welcome to Michigan Volleyball Action. I am one of your commentators today. My name is Tim, and I'll be guiding you through action tonight. But I am not alone. I'm joined by my friend James. James, how are we doing?
I'm doing well, Tim. I'm super excited for this game we've got going on tonight.
Oh, yeah, not only do we have a great game tonight, but guess what, guys? It's Big Ten season. That's right. It is finally time to enter Big Ten conference play, and we are starting that off the only way that we ever should, with our in-state rival, the Michigan State Spartans, coming in here. Michigan, a little bit of a slow start to the year. Started about 2-7 so far. It's a bit of a transition year. They have a brand new coaching staff, first-year head coach, first-year all the assistant levels. What do you think you're looking for tonight, James?
I'm just looking for a bounce back, I think. Our last two losses were against a tough Bowling Green team where both went to 5 sets. So two really close losses that really kind of shaped the season. So if we can play a competitive game here and win, that'd be great.
Yeah, looking to get a really good statement win here because Michigan State, after losing their first 2 games to start the year off, they then went on to win 8 of their next 9 games, currently sitting at 8-3, looking to position themselves as a threat in a very loaded Big Ten. Big Ten this year is absolutely stacked in volleyball. Looking at the top 25 rankings, Wisconsin is number 1, Nebraska is number 2, Minnesota is down there at 12, Penn State at 15, Purdue at 19, and Ohio State at 21. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that sit inside the top 25 just from the Big Ten. Not to mention Michigan State, who has a better record than Purdue and than Penn State. Not to mention that Iowa has 8 wins on the season. So this is a really deep conference this year, and we really need to get a win here to kind of start that season off right. We're now going through the starting lineups for the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan State's already done their starting lineups, but we're now getting into Michigan starters. We'll have those for you as they're announced. Starting first off, number 1, Serena Niambo. Serena's been having herself a pretty good year, 1.94 kills a set. She's been doing pretty good for us so far. Up next, number 3, the libero, Brooke Humphrey. Brooke is only about a week removed from her first career start here, looking to keep that going. Scotty Johnson next, number 4, senior, just made her way to number 8 all-time on the assist sled here at Michigan. Next up with that, number 8, Mira Chopra, making her start tonight. After that, freshman Valentina Valouette had 20 kills in a match earlier this season, which was remarkable for a freshman. And finally, junior Maddie Cochran, academic Big Ten last year. This year's starting 6 tonight for the Michigan Wolverines as we're going to get set with our action coming up. Excited, James?
I'm very excited. I'm looking for a competitive matchup today. Hopefully we can start off Big Ten play right. I'm confident in these girls.
And not only working for a great start for the season for the girls, but me and James a start to our broadcasting careers, because this is both of our first games here with WCBN calling this game live for you guys. So we will do our best. We are going to hopefully maybe not stumble, but we're going to do what we can, and hopefully we'll have a fun night with all you guys out there watching on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Subscribe here on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff at WCBN Sports. And also we have a weekly radio show, the Daily Sports Report, airing on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor. That airs Monday through Thursday, 6 to 6:30. And we also post all of those sessions afterwards onto Spotify. Just look for the Daily Sports Report on Spotify. And you can find all of that. I've done 2 this week, so you might be able to hear some more of my talking. Just talking about all kinds of sports, Michigan football, the NFL, also around the college world. As we get deeper into the winter, we'll talk more hockey, talk more basketball. James, you looking to do any of the sports reports?
I was on the first one of the year, actually, last Monday. It was a lot of fun. You have some pretty engaging conversations on there. And I think they just did one with a sports professor here. That was really interesting.
They did, yeah. That was I believe that was the Wednesday session interview with one of the Michigan sports professors here. I've talked to a couple people that were in on that. They said it was one of the best interviews they'd ever had. There was an incredible session. So if you have access to Spotify, go check that out. But we are getting ready here to start off the action. Michigan State to serve first. Serve will be from number 1, Milani Yosia. Will be serving for Michigan State. Just getting some, looks like a last-minute change for the Spartans there. Number 12, Eva Duzuma coming in there. But with that, we are just about set to get underway. Still held up on some of the refs talking on the table. I promised you we're going to start any minute now. And there we go. Ball's out. Here we go for the serve. Bouncing the ball, and here we go. Serve from the Spartans. Set by Sky Johnson over. Valenza with the first point. Spiking the ball, bounce off Michigan State out of bounds for the first point of the game to the Wolverines. Valuette, one of the 4 big freshmen on this team. This is a very young team, a lot of turnover from last year, not just in the coaching but in the players as well. And she's someone that's made a real impact so far. For Michigan on the serve, number 4, Scotty Johnson, 8th all-time on the assist list, looking to get things started with a serve. And that serve goes out the back of the court. That is out of bounds, point to Michigan State. Serve goes back to them. 2 plays in, 2 points scored, 1-1, tied all, going back to Michigan State. On the serve for Michigan State, number 25, Julia Bishop. Nice serve in there to Humphreys. Look over, spike, and just out of bounds. That was Valuette again. Trying to get that, just barely missed it. Back to Michigan State. Bishop still on the serve for Michigan State. Served in. Kendall gets that one. Set by Scotty Johnson and hits the net. Once again, with Valuette there. Not quite finding her groove just yet. That one stays in the net, goes short. Now 1-3 Michigan State. Bishop, number 25, still on the serve for them. Once more serve overs, fielded by Humphreys, set by Johnson over to Kendall Murray with the kill on that one. Great play, finding a nice little soft spot in the zone there. Scores the point for Michigan. Sub in now, number 11, Amelia Simmons, getting her first action of the game. And that is coming in for Maddie Cochran, taking a quick breather. Kendall Murray now on the serve after scoring that first kill of the game. Serve hits the net, stays in. That's a point for Michigan State. 2-4 so far for Michigan State. Michigan State on the serve. That was number 14, Taylor Hold'em. Oh. And point goes for Michigan State as Michigan cannot get the ball back over the net. Serve stays with Michigan State. Stays with number 14, Tyler Hold'em. Serve over. A little miscommunication there by Humphreys and Murphy. That was Amelia trying for the spike, blocked by Michigan State. Point goes to Michigan State. Scores now 2-6 Michigan State. Serve is staying there with Taylor Hold'em. James, any early impressions?
Seems like Michigan State has a little bit of an edge in this first set, but you know it's nothing's for certain yet. Looks like Michigan's having more errors than they are. Michigan State playing well.
Yeah, a couple of errors in the first few plays there. Kind of sent us behind the 8 ball. Now, good little rally going. Looked like Michigan State was about to lose it. Recovered it pretty well. And there we go, out by Michigan. That's another point to Michigan State. It's a nice little rally there, but just that one kind of got away from Kendall Murray. Ended up veering just off to the side. Went out of bounds towards the Michigan State bench. Is now 2-7. Michigan State still here in the first set. Serve still by Hold'em. Strong serve right to Kendall Murray. Pops up for Sky Johnson. Sets it. Amelia with a good spike over. Michigan State can't field it, and that is Michigan's 3rd points of the game. Hopefully the comeback gets something going for us here. We can't let Michigan State get too far ahead of us because they are a very solid team. Now on the serve, number 8, Mia Copra, looking to make something happen here. Mia Copra lays one in, fielded nice by Michigan State with the set. Spikes over, blocked. Sky John tried to push it over, got blocked again. Amelia put it back. Oh, Michigan State did the classic fake. One of my favorite plays in volleyball, actually. The look like you're going to set it, but instead just kind of barely push the ball over the net. That's what State did there. Found Michigan slacking. Score is now 3-8 Michigan State. On the serve here for Michigan State, number 12, Evie Dazima back on the serve again. Fielded right to Humphreys. Scott set by Scotty, blocked back at her. Kendall keeps it alive, pushed over. Michigan State fields it with the set, going for the spike, pushes it over, and out of bounds. That's another point for Michigan. It's now 4-8 Michigan.
It's like Kendall Murray was going for it there, but missed, caught a break.
We really did on that one. She was kind of pulled back the last second, think this one might be out of bounds, and she was right with that. Now Michigan back on the serve. Serving this one, number 13. Valentina Valuette. That's another point for Michigan State as the return goes out of bounds. Point Michigan State is now 4-10 score to Michigan State. Making some substitutions here. A now for Michigan, number 7, Morgan Burke, and number 5, Lydia Johnson. Morgan and Lydia, 2 other freshmen who've made a big impact on this team. Looking to kind of replace some of the firepower that's been left by some of the last year's departures, like May Protovsky and Jess Robinson. Serve here is Michigan State, number 23, Cameron Berger. And the Chrysler Center is getting loud, trying to make it hard for her as she serves it over. Fielded by Amelia, put back into play by Lydia there, and sent back over by Amelia. Oh, and Michigan State can't hold on to that one. Pushed over by Lydia Johnson, pushes it over the net. Michigan State can't quite handle it, ends up knocking it into the stands. Is now 5-9 Michigan State. As this game keeps rumbling forward. Still in the first set for those of you just joining. It is now 5-9. I don't know why I keep saying 5-7. It's 5-9 with number 19, Maddie Cochran on the serve. Michigan State feels it well. It goes for the attack over. Blocked. Number 1, Serena Niambo was able to get a hand on it. And she tries to put it over. Michigan State blocks it back in. That's another point to Michigan State. It is now 5-10 Michigan State. About halfway through the first set here, just about. On the serve for Michigan State, number 17, Jalen Swain. Looking to serve across. Michigan at the ready. Spike attempt by number 5. That was Lydia Johnson. Missed it just wide. Ends up going out of bounds. Score is now 11-5. Still in Michigan State's favor. Still Swain on the serve for Michigan State. Michigan State has come out firing on all cylinders this first set. As we go to a timeout. As we go to this timeout. Oh, no, my bad. There's a challenge on the court. Challenging the ball was still inbounds. Of course, head coach Erin Virtue still not with the team. She's actually currently out with Team USA Volleyball as they are going through their Olympic qualifiers at the moment. So she will return in just a few days on September 25th. She'll return in time she'll return just after the Maryland game. She'll return in time for a Minnesota game at Minnesota. Hopefully, once we get the coaches back, we'll be able to maybe turn this thing around a little bit. Because so far, it's been a slightly disappointing start for Michigan. Wouldn't you say, James? Yeah,
I would. But good news is when Coach Virtue does get back, they'll probably be in good hands because Team USA sits in first at the moment in the Olympic trials.
Yeah, and Erin Virtue, this is her first year as a head coach. She previously had spent about 4 or 5 years here as the offensive coordinator for the volleyball team before leaving to go coach at Northwestern, and of course her current still ongoing stint with USA Volleyball. And the call has been reversed. That spike by Lydia Johnson was in fact inbounds. Point goes to Michigan. It is now 6-11. 6-10. They hadn't changed the scoreboard yet. It is now 6-10. What would have been just keeping Michigan further down in the drains. Now we have a little bit more momentum coming our way, and we have now Brooke Humphrey on the serve. The libero getting ready to serve this ball over to Michigan State. As soon as the DJ gets the hint that we're ready to start playing and turns that music off, we'll be good to go. Refs are still talking over at the bench. They've already announced the call has been reversed, but they are still conversing over at the table. That's what's keeping play up so far. As Humphrey now tosses the ball back to the ball girl and meets with her team. Looking like this might be another minute, but it seems like everything's been sorted out. Things are all good to go, and now Brooke Humphrey on the serve. Brooke Humphrey taking over the libero role from Hannah Grant, who had the past 2 years, stepping into this role. Just another one of those new changes for new Michigan's team. Michigan State almost muffed that serve, hit it backwards. It looked like it was going out of bounds, but they were able to save it at the last minute. Spike by number 19, Maddie Cochran, looked like it was good, ended up being called out. So that's a point back to Michigan State. It's now 6-11 in Michigan State's favor. We're hoping to keep it close. Back serve to Michigan State. Number 1, Nalani Yosia. Serves it over, fielded by Humphreys. Set and spiked by Kendall Murray, who gets it. Kendall Murray has had herself a phenomenal year so far, leading the team in kills. She's just adding to that lead right now with that, making it 7-11. Sky Johnson, the senior, taking herself back to serve now after that amazing kill by Kendall Murray. Michigan keeping it close from most level 1 point, looking like it could be a blowout. Michigan State fields to serve, spike attempt over, and they get it. Diving there by Sky Johnson, hoping to get a hand under it, but just short. 7-12 Michigan State. Michigan has been doing a good job of keeping it close so far.
Yeah, they haven't let it get out of hand quite yet. They're definitely fighting back what could have turned into a blowout very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, if they can just keep it close, if they can just keep it within a striking distance, be able to stay hot, they might be able to have a shot at it. It's an attack over by Valouette. Spike there, saved by Michigan State. What a great call. And they return with a spike of their own. A diving Brooke Humphreys just misses it. Point to Michigan State. It is now 7-13, still in favor of Michigan State. Number 25, Julia Bishop, back on the serve here, as Michigan hopes to put a stop to this most recent Michigan State scoring spree. Serve fielded by Kendall Murray. Put over by Sky Johnson, fake out on the set. Handled by Michigan State. Blocked by number 13, Valentina Valuette and Mia Capra. Putting that back into Michigan State territory. Get that out of here. Scoring the point, making it now 8-13. Still in Michigan State's favor. But hopefully this can be the start of a little momentum run for us here. Kendall Murray now on the serve.
Yeah, these teams just keep exchanging good plays. Serve is up. Oh, and it goes out. Another point to Michigan State. They lead 14-8.
Serve there just a little bit long by Kendall Murray. Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, Michigan State started off fast. They had those couple plays in a row where missed the block, blocked out of bounds, co-op over, got a quick little 4-point lead. And that's where it's just kind of sat for most of the game. Right now, lead stands at 6, but it's kind of been hovering around that 4 to 6 range. Serve there by Michigan State. Brooke Humphrey could not bring it in. Ends up bouncing off, hitting the ground. That's a point for Michigan State. Now 8-15. I might just jinx it. I'm talking about they're keeping it close because the lead is now ballooned to 7. Michigan State 10 points away from winning the first set here.
I mean, yeah, this first set might feel a little out of reach, but that's why you need to win 3. Right? It's not over. You can lose a set and not have it be over.
That's exactly right, James. Now, I've kind of mentioned a couple times here, but we'll have a quick break for a second. Sky Johnson actually very recently just passed Lisa Vahi on the all-time Michigan assist table, and she is now sitting at number 8 all-time with 2,205 assists in her career here in maize and blue. With still a lot of season left, so I don't think she'll be able to catch Tarisha Thompson, who is about 414 assists ahead of her. If Sky is able to have a really good season, maybe she catches Tarisha there. But still, Sky's had a very good career here. She is one of the remaining stalwarts from the Michigan teams of the past few years. Because as we've kind of hinted to a couple times, there's been a lot of turnover recently. In fact, we have 4 freshmen who've been getting some solid minutes, actually. You've heard all their names. You've heard most of their names so far. Morgan Burke and Liddy Johnson obviously got in there for some action. Valentina Valuette was one of the starters for today and has had a couple blocks, a couple points for us. And yet to be seen, Carly Greskovich. Both of those are all freshmen. We're all been getting some pretty good feature in some of these games, getting some good plays in, getting their sets in, and are going to be very crucial points to this team going forward. Coming back from the break now. Still serve to Michigan State. Serving now number 14, Tyler Hold'em. Back serving again. Michigan ready for the serve. Sends it over. Fielded clean by Kendall Murray. Set by Sky Johnson over to number 11, Aaliyah Simmons. As a point to Michigan State, as Michigan State handled the initial spike attempt, but could not get the ball back over the net. Ends up going out of bounds. Point to Michigan. It scores 9-15, still in the first set here. Serving now is by number 8, Mia Copra. As she sends it over, and it's Amalia in the back of the head. Misstepped on that one, was just a little bit short. Ends up hitting her teammate Amalia, who's standing right in front of the net on the back of the head. That is unfortunately a point for Michigan State. Scores 9-16 in favor of Michigan State. Number 12, Evie Dozman on the serve, handled by Brooke Humphreys. Spike attempt by Amalia. And Michigan State struggling to hold on to it over the head, is not going to get there. That's another point for Michigan. Now makes it 10-16. Amalia came in hot with that spike attempt. Michigan State was able to block it, but could not get it under control, and ended up not being able to make the running hit back over the head. So it goes back to Michigan on the serve here for us. Number 13, Valentina Valuette on the serve. Once more, does not make it over. Serve doesn't make it over the net, and that's a point to Michigan State. Score stands at 10-17. So kind of problems with some of these serves here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to cut her break on that one. She did just get hit in the back of the head.
You know, there's a little bit of a frazzle going on right now. As Michigan calls a timeout, we're going to take a second to kind of dig more into that, because as we kind of mentioned, as you've probably heard, there's been some troubles with the serves those last couple times for Michigan. Michigan has had somewhat of a problem with errors on the serve this season. So far this year, they've had 88 errors on serves, while their opponents have only had 79. So Michigan does seem to have a slightly bit more of a problem when it comes to being able to get that ball clean and safe over the net into play, which is strange because they also have 70 aces on the year as opposed to their opponent's 53. So it's kind of like they're a make or break kind of serves on the year, where either they get an ace, if they don't get an ace, there's not a great shot, the ball is going to land in play. As you may hear in the background now, the Michigan Volleyball Band playing 25 or 64 by Chicago. We'll let you listen to that for a bit. It just occurred to me, you probably can't hear that from here, but oh well. You live and you learn. This is why we're here on our first time. About 20 seconds left in this timeout. Michigan looking to hopefully turn this around. This set, standing right one more time, standing at 10-17 in favor of Michigan State. This set may just be a slight out of reach, but like James was saying, that's why we played to 5 sets. Even if this one ends up falling a little bit short, we know the adjustments that we'll need to make, and hopefully we'll make those going forward. So far, Kendall Murray is leading the Wolverines with 2 kills on the day. That is no surprise as she has been the best finisher on this team so far this year. Valuette, Chopra, and Nyambo all have 1 apiece as well with that. As we're ready to serve, Michigan State serving the ball back over. Fielded by Humphreys, set by Amalia, and pushed over by Lydia Johnson. Michigan State handles it though, sends it back over. Fielded by Michigan State, set by Humphreys, and the spike attempt by Amalia, and hits off the libero for Michigan State. Michigan State unable to bring it back in, and as another point to Michigan, 11-17, still in favor of the Spartans. But again, you see this every now and then out of Michigan. You see this kind of this spark where they're able to make these plays. Now we just need to capitalize on that, string a couple leads together in a row and start coming back here.
Yeah, we'll see how the serve goes because it seems like we can put together good rallies, but as soon as the serves come up, we might ruin it a little bit. Oh, but the serve is up. It's good.
This time, Madcock was able to get control of that serve.
It just
doesn't matter much as Michigan State immediately spikes it back down, gets another point on the kill. 11-18 for Michigan State. You know, ever since I started talking about how Michigan was able to kind of keep it within a good 4-point kind of range, Michigan State has brought the lead out to 7, and it has not shrunken from there. 11-18 now as Michigan State serves it back. Michigan unable to field it. Oh, Brooke Humphrey, though, with a great save, and it's able to go back over. It's a great play by both Humphreys and by Cochran, able to save that. Ultimately ends up being pointless as Michigan State is able to capitalize with another kill, making it 11-19 so far. You know, despite the fact that Michigan is currently losing by 8, they actually are edging out Michigan State 9 kills to 7, which goes to show that a lot of this is Michigan's own self-inflicted wounds. Brooke Humphrey sends it over for Kendall Murray, gets her spike blocked, sets it up this time for Lydia Johnson. Michigan State handles it for a spike of their own and finds pay dirt as they stretch their lead to 9 points now at 11-20 here in the first set. Michigan really needs to find a way to kind of put a stop to this bleeding. This set seems like it's all but over. Michigan just 5 points away from winning the set as Michigan calls a timeout to talk things over. Again, 11-20 here in the first set as we take a minute 25 timeout for Michigan. Things still aren't looking that great, James.
No, definitely the story of this this first set has been Michigan finding momentum and losing it immediately. You can tell by the crowd. They get really into it for about 1 serve, and then Michigan does well, and then they immediately get the ball spiked right back over to them.
That is something to know. The Chrysler Center tonight here in Ann Arbor looking pretty full. The zone, the volleyball student section is out here in full force. It was a free shirt giveaway. They were giving out yellow 23 volleyball shirts to the first 100 fans that came in. So a lot of those you see in attendance. A lot of the yellow pom-poms being waving around. The band is doing their thing as they always do. So it's not the fact that this crowd is dead because the crowd is here, the crowd is alive, and you might have heard them coming through the broadcast a few times. They want this Michigan team to do well. They are here to support this team. They're giving this team their all, and the team is making some good plays. Don't get that wrong. Lydia Johnson, Valentina Valuette, Niambo, Amelia Simmons, they've all made some great plays so far. Kendall Murray has looked like the leader that she is on this team. They're just not able to string allies together, and they're letting Michigan State kind of take advantage of that and kind of just keep expanding that lead slowly. We are coming out of the break now. Score is still 11-20 Michigan State as we go back on the serve. Number 17, Jalen Swain serves it over. Fielded by Valuette, set and spike by Kendall Murray, blocked and sent into the stands. Michigan State tries to get to it, but they just can't quite reach as the ball hits the second row off of a block attempt. That is a point for Michigan. Is now 12-20 as Brooke Humphreys gets on the serve. Eight-point deficit, 12-20 here late in the first set. Served over Brooke Humphreys, fielded clean by Michigan State. Set, going for the spike attempt, and finds pay dirt again. That was Valuette. No, I'm sorry. That was Maddie Cochran on the dive there, trying to save that, but just hitting the ground there. That's something else you've seen a lot too. Is whenever Michigan does put the ball over, it seems a lot of just like bump, set, spike kills for Michigan State. Not making Michigan's not making them work too hard on those spikes.
No, Michigan State's been very effective at just like the fundamentals, just like getting up, getting down.
Yeah, great serve there by Michigan State. Fielded cleanly by Brooke Humphreys. Block attempted by Michigan State, but the ball still managed to squeeze its way in between the net and the blockers, landing on Michigan State side for a Michigan point. It's now 13-21 Michigan State. Michigan needs to make an incredible run here to try to win this set. Michigan State just 4 points away. Michigan still 12 points away. Sky Johnson here on the serve for Michigan. Sends it across. Oh, not fielded cleanly by Michigan State. And that is going to be a service ace for Scotty Johnson. What a great play there. Sky sends it straight to Michigan State. Unable to reel it in. Ends up getting caught up high. Bounces backwards. Another teammate tries to dive for it, and it's out of their reach. As a point for Michigan. 14-21 as Sky Johnson serves again. This time Michigan State fields it clean. Sets for the spike. Blocked off the top of the hands there. Off the top of the hands of Valuette. Goes out of bounds out the back of the court. 22-14 Michigan State. As Michigan State is going to get the serve and probably try to end this set within this serve. Back serving there, Julia Bishop getting ready to serve again on the night. Sends across field by Humphreys. Sky Johnson with the set, and that is no, that's not Hannah Grant, my bad. Excuse me there. That was number 8, Mia Capra. Just putting a little bit too much on that, out of bounds at the back. 14-23 in favor of Michigan State. 2 points till they win this set. Served by Julia Bishop. Fielded by Cochran. Spike attempt there by Valuette. Goes long, out of bounds. 14-24 Michigan State. Set point coming up right here as Bishop gets on the serve again. Chrysler trying to come alive to inspire their girls forward. Sky Johnson kind of runs into Valuette there. With that miscommunication, ends up going out of bounds. That is 25-14. That is the end of the first set. Win goes to Michigan State. But like we were saying, this is just the first set of more to come. So Michigan State does have the 1-0 advantage. As we are taking a quick break in between sets, this is for the teams to switch sides, for them to re-strategize, and hopefully for Michigan to come up with some kind of plan to stop this Michigan State attack. About 2 minutes left in this break here between sets. Looking ahead a little bit, Michigan, of course, here tonight against Michigan State in Ann Arbor. After this, they will be having a little bit of a road trip. In a few days on Sunday, they will be at Maryland playing the Terrapins. On the 29th, 1 week from tonight, they will be in Minnesota to play the number 12 ranked Golden Gophers. And then after that, just a few days later, they will be in Wisconsin playing the number 1 team in the country on their home floor. Before coming back for back-to-back games against Northwestern and Nebraska at home. Nebraska, of course, number 2 in the country right now. Northwestern also having a little bit of a slow start to their season, so maybe there hopefully we'll be able to get a good bounce-back victory in between games against the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country. That's just what the Big Ten is this year. You're going to just have those days where you're just playing some of the best talent, best volleyball players in the country, best teams in the country, best coaching on just back-to-back nights like that.
Right, and also Michigan State's looking to buck a trend here. They have not defeated the Wolverines in volleyball since November of 2017.
Wow.
So right now they've lost to 10 straight. So they're feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, that the near 6-year run of dominance may come to an end tonight, as Michigan State so far has looked clean, has looked crisp. The biggest couple of mistakes, you could say, if you could even call them that, just a couple of those serves getting away from them, a couple of those strong hits coming in, just not quite being able to hold on to those. But all in all, when it comes to the consistency of their serves, when it comes to their ability to finish on their spikes and on their sets, they're just having a lot more success with that. Also being able to get a lot more of those saves in there. They have 9 digs as opposed to Michigan's 3. Both teams at 1 ace apiece. But so far the star for Michigan State this game, number 14, Taylor Hold'em. You've heard her name on serve a couple times. She currently has 5 kills to her name tonight, along with the sole ace that Michigan State has had so far. Meanwhile, as we said on the Michigan side, Kendall Murray is leading the way, leading the charge there with 3 kills to her name, with everyone else only having 1 apiece. Names like Serena Niambo, Valentina Valuette, and Mira Chopra, all having 1 apiece to their names. Michigan still out-killing, that sounds like a weird thing to say. I would say that's the one thing I love about volleyball. They have the hardest language when it comes to things. They have kills and digs and aces. Speaking of aces, hopefully Scotty Johnson can get one as she begins to start the second set off as she serves for Michigan across the way. Michigan State able to get a good handle on it, sets it up, spike attempt over, tipped at the net, set up by Brooke Humphreys. As Kendall Murray goes for the spike, again fielded one more time by Michigan State. And that is out by Michigan State. That is a point to Michigan. Michigan now leads the set 1-0, which is more than you can say for the last set that they had. Not leading at all that first set. So off to a 1-0 lead here. Hopefully we can maintain this one. If we get out to a good start, maybe we don't have to worry about Michigan State making the runs like last time. And that is the ace for Scotty Johnson, finding some space in the back of the court on Michigan State's side. Ball dushes down. No one even really makes a move for it. And that is the ace for Scotty Johnson. 2-0 now for Michigan at the beginning of our second set here. Sends the ball back across. Fielded somewhat by Michigan State. And they missed the spike. Number 14, Taylor Hold'em, we were just talking about her having 5 kills in this game. She whiffs on that one. Ball lands against the net. And that is now 3-0 for Michigan. This has been just about the best start you could have asked for after that last set.
Right, you're so right. Now it looks like Michigan State's the one making mistakes, and Michigan is in full control so far.
Sky Johnson now going for that serve again. And that is another ace.
The second ace of this set, and Michigan leads 4-0.
That is another ace, as it seems that the ball just barely ekes over the top of that net, drops down, and finds pay dirt on the Michigan State side. 4-0 Michigan as Scotty serves again. This one fielded clean by Michigan State. Set spike attempt. Scotty Johnson just throws up a hand and saves that point. Kendall Murray, spike. Michigan State can't handle it. That is now a 5-0 run to start the second set for Michigan. That is 5-0. 2 aces by Scotty Johnson and a kill from Kendall Murray is pretty much the most spectacular start to this you can. Michigan State tried to dive on that one and just send the ball ricocheting in the wrong direction. 5-0 Michigan as Scotty serves for the 6th time. Ball clips the top of the net, still makes it over. And that is going to be the end of Michigan's run. Taylor Hold'em was able to get a handle on that one, sent it over, and just bounced it off the chest of a Michigan player into the 3rd row. That is now 5-1 Michigan over Michigan State to start the second set off. That is as good as Michigan's looked all night.
Yeah, they came out of the second. They came out of the second set firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Really hoping they don't want to lose this one.
Julia Bishop on the serve again, handled great by Michigan, sent back over. Michigan State's return attempt blocked by Kendall Murray. Kendall Murray again saving that spike attempt as Michigan State tries to handle Valuette's attack. And Michigan State just sends the ball out of bounds far left as this is now 6-1 Michigan opening this second set out.
The first and second set are looking like night and day with these two teams.
It really has. I don't know what we're talking about in between sets there, but whatever it has seemed to work, as now Kendall Murray takes the serve. 6-1 in Michigan starting off this second set. Kendall Murray gets the ball over. Set up and spike attempt by Taylor, and she misses again. Taylor misses again. After that incredible first set, has now whiffs on the first attempt, scores on her second, and now is wide on the third, as Michigan State calls a timeout to try to stem the tide of the rolling Michigan Wolverines, as Chrysler here is loving what they're seeing from their Wolverines starting off this second set. The pom-poms are in the air, the music is pumping, people are having an absolute blast. As they're bringing the muscle cam out now inside the stadium. Gonna take a moment here. You know, as we said, first-year head coach Aaron Virtue still with Team USA, so I believe it is associate head coach Benavia Jenkins, who has current head of the reins here, along with associate head coach Dan Pawlikowski. They are the ones that have a handle right now with this team and are absolutely inspiring this comeback right now for Michigan. The last name on that assistant coach team, Nick Clark. All three are first-year assistants here at the university. So when we talk about it being a new operation here, I know you've said it a couple times, but I just can't stress how important it is. We have 4 freshmen in Valuette, in Lydia Johnson, in Greskovich, and in Burke, who are getting a lot of playing time. We have first-year head coach, first year on all of our assistant coaches, even first-year director of volleyball operations and performance analysis. The entire coaching team is in their first year here, but they're showing right now that that is not anything to them, because they can still make these adjustments. They can still get their girls inspired. As we return to action after that Michigan State timeout, Kendall Murray still serving. As that point goes to Michigan State, as Hold'em's spike goes off the hands of the Michigan block, out of bounds. That is a point for Michigan State. Score stands at 7-2 Michigan. As is now going back to Hold'em for the serve. As Michigan still holding this 5-point lead here in the second set. Serve up and over. Handled by Humphrey, set by Sky Johnson, and Valuette gets it over. Michigan State is able to manage it back. Set again by Sky Johnson, and Simmons gets a good look, but unfortunately blocked by Michigan State. Michigan again on it, sets that up by Sky Johnson for another Simmons spike attempt. Diving save by Michigan State. This is quite a rally here. Michigan State doesn't even try, just puts it over. And third time is not quite the charm for Amalia Simmons. That spike goes out of bounds, as is now 7-3. A little mess up on the scoreboard there. 7-3 Michigan still. Hold'em is still on the serve here, looking to send it across. Just lands inbounds. Kendall thought that was going to fall out of bounds. Ends up just clipping the inside border of that. It's another point for Michigan State. A service ace for them to match with Sky's 2 to start this set off. It is now 7-4 in favor of Michigan. Serve fielded by Humphreys, set by Sky Johnson. And the fake out by Valuette there. Michigan State still able to gain control though. Diving save by Sky Johnson, the Michigan State attack. Ooh, and again, Amalia Simmons' spike out directed right into Sky's face. Was able to handle it. Unfortunately there, Valuette sends it flying out of bounds. Almost hits Michigan State's assistant coach there. Is now 7-5 Michigan State. Michigan still trying to hold on to momentum that they had at the beginning of this set. As Michigan calls their own timeout, trying to regain some of that momentum that they had earlier. Oh, never mind. I keep messing this up. There's a challenge. The ref signals for challenge and timeout look very similar in this.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge by Michigan State on that ace, I believe. No, I'm sorry. On that last spike, they're claiming that the ball went off of the Michigan State fingers. It was actually going to be out of bounds on Michigan State, not out of bounds on Michigan. It is very close.
It is. Yeah, I didn't notice that before, but that's why the replay systems are in place.
Yeah, I missed it. That's why I thought they were referring to the. That's why I thought they were referring to the ace they had, because I didn't even see that on the spike.
Right.
But it is close there. This one may come back for Michigan. If they did, that would be a great help. Try to get some momentum coming back our way. After Michigan State, after getting down 6-1, have now since gone on a 4-1 run of their own to just about even things up. And they did reverse the call. Michigan State did clip it on the block attempt. So that was actually out of bounds on Michigan State, not out of bounds on Michigan. It is now 8-4 instead of 7-5. It's now 8-4 in Michigan. Ball goes back to Michigan. Mira Copra on the serve here, looking to keep this wonderful second set going for Michigan.
Yeah, that was a big reversal because it looked like they were losing some steam, but now they're up by 4 again.
They did, and that serve just barely makes it over. Really hits the net there. Michigan State sends it back over, and Amalia Simmons' spike attempt doesn't quite go through. Michigan State returns it with their own, off of the arms of Mira Chopra, and that is out of bounds on Michigan. 8-5 now, still in Michigan's favor, but Michigan State has definitely been making more of a comeback.
Right.
Looks like those first couple plays, there were more of a lapse in judgment for Michigan State as they're starting to bring it back. Serve now is number 12, Evie Dozeman. As there is almost hits the ground, and they're claiming it did hit the ground. There's some miscommunication there on the back corner between Amalia and Kendall. I thought they were able to get it, but according to the official on the floor, ball hit the ground. The point goes to Michigan State. It is now 8-6 Michigan right now. Serve goes across, fielded by Kendall Murray, set by Sky Johnson. And the spike attempt by Valentina is blocked by Michigan State. It's now 7-8, still in Michigan, but that 5-point gap we had has now all but vanished as Michigan State has seemed to found their second gear, and they're starting to bring this game back in their favor. Serve fielded by Kendall Murray. Spike by Serena Niambo. That ends up going out of bounds. So is now tied up. The once promising start we had to this, the 2 aces by Sky Johnson, that awesome kill by Kendall, have now been erased and is now 8-8, tied up here early in the second set. Still Dozeman on the serve. Spike by Amalia, and that one also goes out of bounds. Amalia's, that was Serena Niambo on that one. Just a little bit wide in some of these last couple spikes for Niambo here. Scores now 9-8. Michigan State regained the lead as the serve is dramatically handled by Sky Johnson. And the spike there by number 16, Grace Kelly, puts that one away from Michigan State. It is now 8-10.
Michigan State's really found their footing this set. They started slow, took that timeout, now they're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, that timeout was the real turning point for them. They started out, like James was saying, really slow there. And since that timeout, they have dominated this game. Serve there, still on the Dozeman serve. But we get it back as number 11, Amalia Simmons, she's able to find her way through on that spike, bounce it off the knee of a Michigan State player, and it is now 9-10 Michigan State. Michigan State still on the lead, but the serve now comes back as Valuette gets ready to send this ball across, and hopefully Michigan can start to regain some of that momentum right here. A great serve by Valuette, almost ends up with an ace. That return, though, by Michigan State bounced off the hands of our blockers, Serena Niambo and Kendall Murray, goes out of bounds as a point for Michigan State. Score now stands at Michigan State 11 and Michigan 9. Lydia Johnson returning to the floor for Michigan. Michigan State back on the serve by 23, Cameron Berger. Berger or Berger? What do you think?
Ooh, probably Berger.
Berger? We'll go with Berger. If people had normal names, we wouldn't have this problem, but Berger/Berger with the serve, fielded by Humphreys. Spike attempt here by Lydia Johnson. Makes its way through, barely inbounds, finds that back corner for a point. 10-11, Michigan State still in the lead. Serve comes back to Michigan.
Does not look like Michigan is going anywhere. They're keeping their foot in the door.
Michigan is not hoping to get blown out like they did last set. Maddie Cochran comes back into the game for Michigan, and she's going to be the one to take this serve. As she sends it across. Fielded clean by Michigan State. Michigan State tries to send it over, gets blocked by, I believe that was Valuette and Kendall Murray there on that block. Managed to land it inbounds right in the corner, and is now back to being tied 11-11. Serve is still Michigan State, still Cochran with the serve. Cochran sends it over, just out of bounds, out the back of the court, and just like that, Michigan State is down. Michigan State 12, Michigan 11. We thank you all for joining us here on WCBN's YouTube channel as we are going through this Michigan State volleyball game. Still a couple of you hanging around. We appreciate it very much. Serve is now back to Michigan State here. Sends it over, fielded clean by Michigan. And, that was a great, looked like it was going to be a great play by Serena Yambo. Lined up for a perfect spike. But number 19 for Michigan State, Amani MacArthur, just pops up out of nowhere, sends it straight back in her face, and as a point for Michigan State. It is 13 Michigan State, 11 Michigan. Michigan still down by 2 as Michigan State serves again. Fielded by Nyambo. And sent back by Lydia Johnson. Spiking that thing home. Back left corner of Michigan State's territory. What a great kill there. 12-13, still Michigan State's favor. 13 Michigan, 13 Michigan State, 12 to Michigan. But we are now have Brooke Humphreys on the serve for Michigan. Sends it across and sends it out of bounds. Pulls it too much right. 12-14, still Michigan State's lead as it comes back to them with the serve going for Nelania Yasia. Number 1, the libero for Michigan State. Giving that ball the business, bouncing it into the ground many times before serving it across, as she does now. Fielded by Cochran. Spike attempt. Oh! Fake out spike by Kendall Murray. Michigan State handles it, so it sends it right back to State. And that is a one of a kill by Lydia Johnson. Jumping 18 feet in the air and slamming that thing home. What a play there for the freshman. Really making a name for herself there. She's been having a great second set so far. Serve now comes back to Michigan, goes to Scotty Johnson, who started this set off, if you remember, with those 2 aces and 4 straight points. Sends it across again. This time just puts a little bit too much on it, sends it out of bounds. The score is now Michigan 13, Michigan State 15. Keeping that 2-point lead for Michigan State. This one is remaining a lot closer than the last one was.
Yeah, if you're Michigan right now, you really, really want to capture this set, because if you can go into the third set tied instead of down 2, it completely changes the game.
Oh, yeah. Served back by Julia Bishop. Cochran gets a handle on it, almost loses it, but Sky Johnson saves it, and Humphreys sends it over to Michigan State. Michigan State's going to set up for a spike here. Saved by Sky Johnson. Humphreys sets it up as Valuette puts it over. Michigan State still handles it, and they do the fake out set, and they find some space in the middle of Michigan's defense for a point. That is now Michigan 13, Michigan State 16. It's been a very close set here so far, but Michigan State just has that extra edge, it looks like, as we go into a timeout by Michigan here. Things were looking promising for a second there, James.
Yeah, it were. It looked like Maddie Cochran got confused on that last one. She was going one way and the other way, and she hesitated. She fell. She didn't quite get it.
Yeah, a little of an awkward play in that last one.
Yeah, but the Wolverines are performing much better in this set than they did in the last one.
They have. There's been a lot more life,
Right.
it seems. They've been able to finish a lot more. They've had a lot more kills this round. They still have, actually, Michigan as a team has 17 kills to Michigan State's 16 kills, which shows that their offense is coming live. But, of course, the fact that we're still losing by 3 and lost that first set by about 10 still means we're making a lot more mistakes than they are.
Right, we're trailing in the digs by 8. The Spartans have 8 more digs.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Wolverines they're doing better on the there's far less self-inflicted wounds in the set, but they still need to have an extra push to finish the set here.
Very true, very true. About 40 seconds left in this break. As Chrysler is still enjoying themselves, it is still an exciting game here. Especially these last couple of plays that we've had have been very electric. If you've been enjoying the action here, make sure, like I said, you subscribe to our YouTube channel because we do all Michigan sporting events throughout the course of the year. We try to do as many of them as we can. Volleyball, basketball, field hockey, soccer, lacrosse, ice hockey, and, of course, football. We're in the middle of football season right now. If you come back here tomorrow at noon when Michigan plays against Rutgers, we will be doing our own commentary right here on this YouTube channel. Me and James will not be your commentators for that. There will be some incredible commentators that we have. We'll be handling that for you. As we come out of this timeout, Julia Bishop is still on the serve. Sends it across to Michigan. Spike here by Valuette gets blocked back by Michigan. Gonna try that one again. This time, Kendall Murray gets blocked. Michigan still holding on to control that ball, though. Valuette's gonna just push it over this time. Michigan State feels it. Tries to send over Spike, but blocked by Kendall Murray. Michigan State keeps it alive and blocked again. That one, however, was by Mia Chopra. She managed to stick that one back in Michigan State's face for the point. 14-16, Michigan to Michigan State. Michigan State still up by 2, 16-14, but Michigan is sticking this one out. They're staying alive, and Kendall Murray is back on the serve, hoping to make some magic happen here as she sends it across, fielded by Michigan State. Fielded again by Michigan as that spike attempt by Hold'em doesn't go through. Some chaos happening here by Michigan State. The spike from Amalia Simmons just got bounced around one too many times. Michigan got hit with a 4th touch violation. That is a point for Michigan. Score now stands at Michigan 15, Michigan State 16. Michigan still has a very real chance to win this set and keep their hopes of winning this game alive. Kendall Murray one more time on the serve, sends it across. Immediately sent back by Michigan State. Amalia Simmons pokes this one over, trying to find a soft spot, doesn't get it. Michigan State on the spike, and that is another hit by Hold'em that gets blocked out of bounds by Michigan State. So that's a point for Michigan State. Score now stands at Michigan State 17, Michigan 15. As we're back to the Michigan State serve, Hold'em again. Hold'em's been the star of this game for Michigan State. 9 kills to her name as she serves off here. Michigan State fields it pretty cleanly. Sky Jones has to make a little bit of an effort on that set, but Amalia slams it through the blockers. Michigan State still able to hold control. Michigan looking to send it back as Amalia goes for a second attempt off the hands of Michigan State. Another point for Michigan.
Michigan will not let this set go. They go down by 3, then they battle back, and they're down by 1.
Amalia said, let me try that again. I don't care about your blockers. I'm just going to send this one through your defense, and she does just that. Michigan State wasn't able to put that one back. Instead, it bounces into the first row. 16 Michigan, 17 Michigan State. As we're now having a serve from Mia Chopra back on the block. Good serve by Mia there over to Michigan State. Send it back here and makes it through our defense. You did have Valuette and you did have Simmons there on the defense, but just managed to squeak its way through there. Serve goes back to Michigan State as they lead 18-16 over Michigan. Served by number 12, Evie Dozeman. Handled well by Michigan State. And Amalia again tries to put it through. Michigan State's able to take control of it, though, as they'll try to send it back themselves. Out of bounds, though, and as a point for Michigan. They are not going away in this set. 17-18, still down by 1. But Valuette has her chance to serve now, and maybe she can be the one to turn the tide for Michigan in this set. Michigan State looking to send it over. Does so, but Kendall gets a good grasp on it. Amalia again doesn't quite get it in, though. Ends up falling out of bounds as a point for Michigan State, as the score goes to Michigan State 19, Michigan 17. Some substitutions here on the Michigan side. In comes number 7, Morgan Burke. And number 5, Lydia Johnson, also coming back into the game here. Served by the mysterious last name Berger/Berger girl, as Brooke Humphreys manages to handle that. Ooh, Lydia Johnson sends it over, gets kind of caught up with the Michigan State defender there. But eventually, Michigan State tries to send it back, gets blocked by Serena Niambo, and Amalia Simmons are able to take control of that, send it back into Michigan's face. Into Michigan State's face, and is now 18-19, Michigan State. Michigan State still has the 1-point lead as we go back to Maddie Cochran on the serve attempt. Maddie sends it over. And Michigan State barely, actually Michigan gets the service ace. I don't know what quite happened there. Do you know what happened, James?
I have no idea. It looked like there was a miscommunication, and they hit it 3 times, and the third one barely got it over, but they blew it dead. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I think it was a little line violation there. It got sent actually back into the net, and so Michigan State was trying to scramble to get it out of the net, but ended up not being able to do so in time. The serve from Maddie Cochran gets returned by Michigan State, and they immediately score again. So that 19-19 tie lasted for about the amount of time it took for us to tell you it was a 19-19 tie. It is now back to 20-19. Michigan State still leading over Michigan. This set is coming right down to the wire. Because remember, you got to win these sets by 2. So if it gets to a point where it's 24-24, it just becomes a kind of like deuce in tennis. Ball is currently in play on Michigan State's side. And Hold'em has a great cross-court kill. You saw, I believe that was Serena Niambo stepped out of the way. Was either Niambo or was Kendall Murray? I forget who.
I think it was Kendall Murray.
Kendall Murray, you saw her step out of the way because it was coming in so hot. She thought it was going to go out of bounds. Match just dropped down, clip inbounds. Michigan State now 21-19 over Michigan. Michigan's return of Michigan State's serve doesn't quite make it over. An illegal touch by the Wolverines, and that is going to make it 22-19. Kendall Murray is pleading her case with the net judge right now. Unfortunately, does not change his mind. Look like Kendall's going to talk to the coach. They may challenge this one, see if they can get this point back. And looks like they will challenge.
I'm not familiar with the rule.
Or, I'm sorry, that's a timeout for the Wolverines.
Okay.
Again, they look very similar.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the rule. What was she? Did she?
I believe they were saying that it was an illegal touch. That they, someone on Michigan's, I believe it was Kendall actually, that they managed to touch the ball before they made its way over the net.
Oh.
Just kind of was one of those close calls like that. And just managed to clip it, which is you're not allowed to do. At that point, that goes to Michigan State.
Yeah, and at this point, you do not want to be down 3 to Michigan State because they're so close. You've been tied, you've been down 1 this whole time, but now's the worst time to let it get away from you.
Score stands at 22-19, Michigan State over Michigan. We're almost at the end of this set here, and yes, as James was saying, this is not where you want to be if you're Michigan right now. Having started off this set, leading at 6-1 at one point, and now you're coming down just a little bit. Now sitting 3 points away from Michigan, sitting 3 points away from Michigan State. Michigan State themselves are only 3 points from winning. They need to go on a really big run here if they want to still have a sense of winning this game, because if they lose this set and they go down 2-0 with the way that Michigan State was playing, with the way that Hold'em has been playing particularly, it's not looking good for Michigan State can hold on to this one.
No, they might. Michigan State might be able to earn their first win over the Wolverines in 10 years, or not 10
6 years.
Yeah,
10 matches over 6 years. The Wolverines have not fallen to the Spartans. I've been at actually a bunch of those last few games. It's always exciting when the Spartans come into the Chrysler Center. Unfortunately, this one's not been going our way. But again, this is a very young team coming out of a very long era of under the same head coach. First year with a new head coach, all new staff, a bunch of freshmen getting some big playing time. We were kind of expecting this to happen. For there to be a little bit
And if you're Michigan, that's exactly what you're looking for. The serve goes straight into the net for Michigan State.
Exactly. As I got kind of caught up because as I was talking, the Michigan State serve falls directly into the net. Doesn't even get over. So that's a point for Michigan, 20-22, as Brooke Humphrey sends the ball over. Michigan State on the spike attempt. They hit the poles on the side. That is out of bounds. And that's another point for Michigan. We were just saying Michigan needs to make a run here if they want to come back against State, and they've done just that. 2 points out of the timeout. After Michigan calls that timeout, after the miscommunication with Kendall Murray, 2 straight points. Humphrey serves again as Hold'em gets it over, but Michigan's able to handle it, and Kendall Murray slaps it back across. Holmes looking for another one and just manages to squeak it in. That is her 12th kill of the game. The score is now Michigan State 23, Michigan 21. Michigan State just 2 points away from closing up on this set. And if they close up this set, it is more likely than not that they will close up on this game. So Michigan really needs to make a big stand, a big run right here if they can. Served by number 1, Yacina.
It went straight out the back.
Goes long, and Michigan still has life.
Yep, Michigan will just not die in this set. They will not go away. Down 3, battled back to down 1, and then it looked like it was getting away from them, but they're right back in it. Now they need 3 points to win this set, and they're serving.
And they get 3 points in a row. And who better than Scotty Johnson, who started this set off so remarkably, cannot channel that magic as this one falls out the back of the court, goes out of bounds. Point Michigan State. 24 Michigan State, 22 Michigan. This is the set point for Michigan State as Julia Bishop comes back up to serve for the Spartans. She will send this one across, and Michigan will look to close the set up here. As you can hear, Chrysler is rocking right now. And that will be an ace to close the set out for Michigan State. Michigan could not handle Maddie Cochran, just could not bring that serve in. Ends up bouncing off her into the student section, and that will be the set in favor of Michigan, 25-22. Michigan is now up 2-0. We will take a 5-minute break from the action, and then as we come back, we'll start the third set where Michigan State will look to make it a clean 3-0 sweep of the Wolverines, claiming their first victory over the Wolverines in almost 6 years. As we were mentioning earlier, if you are interested in the Michigan Rutgers football game tomorrow, but you won't be able to watch it, you can always tune into the broadcast right here on the WCBN YouTube channel. We will be live commenting the entire game. Again, it will not be myself and James, but it will be some more of our lovely team that we have here calling that game for you guys. So if you're unable to watch it on TV, or if you just hate Gus Johnson that much, you can always come watch the game, listen to our broadcast. We are an all-student run program here. Students who run the broadcast, we do the setups, we do the streams, we make the graphics, we do everything ourselves. It's a really great system we have here set up for everyone. So please do support us if you can. Make sure you tell everyone that you know. Listen to WCBN either on 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor, or right here on the YouTube channel. Like I said, we'll try to stream as many Michigan Wolverines sporting events as we possibly can. And we now have on the court the traditional fan engagement event. It looks like 2 teams of 2 students have to crab walk back to back, keeping their backs connected, must make the way around the set of cones.
They've got a volleyball
they're
between
holding
them.
We are at a bad angle. They have to hold a volleyball between their backs. The one team has already dropped the ball twice. The far side, we have a guys team and a girls team. Yeah. The girls are absolutely dominating right now. They've already made it through the cones under the net, and they just have to drop the ball into the hula hoop. which they are doing as we speak. The men have just barely made it under the net.
Oh, they missed.
Girls, they missed the zone on the first time. The men are catching back up. They are making it to the hula hoop.
Oh.
They might win.
Close one.
No, they just miss it. The girls miss again. The men might actually get this one. They miss again, though. This is much harder than it looks, ladies and gentlemen. I can promise you that. The girls are circling the hoop. They're trying to land it in. The men mess up again. The ball rolls out of bounds. And the girls are making to the back line. And the girls win it. The girls make it all the way down. I have no idea the rules or the qualifications.
I could not tell. It looked like they were trying to drop it in, but then they like circled it and left. And like they weren't trying to put the ball in the hoop.
I believe, to be fair, if you were here watching this game live, I don't think you'll have much better understanding what was going on yourselves. They had a couple cones set up on the one side. They had 2 hoops set up on the backcourt, and the teams were carrying. It was 2 girls on one team, 2 guys the other time. Were pinning a volleyball between their backs. They were maneuvering between the cones to duck underneath the net. And we both logically assumed you put a hoop on the floor, you have a ball, you jump the ball into the hoop. Apparently they had to do a little ring around the rosy.
That's what it looked like.
Little square dance around the hoop there. When they did that, they ran through this finish line, and the girls were able to win over the men. It's a great day for feminism. I believe they've won some kind of gift card or merch or tickets or something. It is very loud in here. We have the headsets on. I'm not hearing everything that they're saying. But that was such a treat. Michigan never fails to disappoint with its crowd engagement. There's always some kind of student coming out to shoot a half-court shot, kick a field goal. They always get what's your favorite student event?
At the football game, the season opener, there was I think it was called pass punt kick.
The punt pack kid. Yeah.
Yes, I thought that was very interesting, especially since I knew one of the individuals out there.
Really? Was he the one that won, or?
Yeah, I think he like nailed the field goal.
Oh yeah.
So it was, I like that one. But I was approached during Festival. How would you describe it?
Festival is an event that happens the first week of the school year every year here on Ann Arbor, where all different clubs on campus come out and they kind of advertise themselves. It's a big event. It takes up the entire center of campus. We have over 1,600 different clubs on campus. I'm a tour guide here, can you not tell? We have over 1,600 different clubs here, so they all get like their own tables, their spaces. That's a lot of recruiting, people running games, or trying to get people to join their clubs. That's actually how I found out about WCBN.
Right, me as well.
One of my buddies, Jake Singer, who you'll hear calling some of the football games, he pulled me aside and he was like, "Tim, what are you doing with your life?" And I said, "Nothing." And he goes, "If I got a thing for you," and he signed me up. And here I am.
Right.
But so you ever recruit at Festival for that?
Yeah, well, yeah, I heard of WCBN at Festival, but also I was approached asking if I wanted to participate in a halftime game at one of the games. But nothing ever came of it. I gave them my information, but I never was texted or called back. Yeah. So maybe they'll get me later down the season. I'm not sure, but
hopefully they will.
Yeah, hopefully. They look
I
fun.
hope to see you out there, buddy. And with that, we've now returned from our break, and we're back to the action, starting the third set here. Remember, it's 2-0 in favor of Michigan State. Michigan will serve here. Yosia serves it off to Michigan. Michigan handling this serve, sending it back across to Michigan State as they look to spike it back across. And this is just adding on a remarkable day for Taylor Hold'em. That is her 13th kill as she puts Michigan State up 1-0 to start this third set off. 13 kills, 1 assist, and 2 aces for Taylor Hold'em. She's been doing remarkable this game as Michigan State looks to set to serve again. And Kay cannot hold on to that one as that serve falls for a service ace for number 1, Milani Iosa. She is going to serve off again. 2-0 to Michigan State. This one hits the net as it comes across. Michigan can still hold it. Kendall Murray goes in for the spike, gets blocked at the line. Michigan State sending it back across. Hold'em doesn't get it through, but doesn't matter because it was so hot coming in. Michigan couldn't hold on to it. Ends up falling out of bounds after Michigan touches it. Why did they make my first game be Michigan versus Michigan State and have to call both names out so often? I'm positive for all of you listening out there and for all of you, I'm pretty sure it's just my grandma that's left. But we're learning. As is now 3-0 to Michigan State, and Yasia serves it again. This one handled very cleanly by Michigan State. Kendall Murray tries to get it across. Michigan State was not having it, sends it back. This one sent across by McBurrows, Saj McBurrows. I haven't seen her yet tonight, but here she is coming out to start the third set. This rally's still going. Sky Johnson's able to handle that last one. Kendall Murray tries for the point, doesn't manage it, sends it back across. And that one falls for Michigan. Mira Chopra was able to kind of push a Michigan State return back over. They couldn't bring it in. Falls to the ground for a point for Michigan, their first of the set. Michigan State 3, Michigan 1 here early in the third set as Kendall Murray gets set to serve.
And that point falls for Michigan as it goes out the backcourt of Michigan State.
Great play there. Great serve by Kendall Murray, and Michigan just doing this is their do or die. This is, if they lose the set, this is over. So they're trying to put everything they have into making sure that we get this some kind of that we go down swinging. That unfortunately is not helping us as Kendall Murray sends a serve out the back of the court, falls out of bounds. 4-2, Michigan State over Michigan right now. And this is a return by Michigan after that serve. What a spike there by Kendall Murray. Bounces off the hand of a Michigan State player attempting a dig. And all that happens is the ball lands 5 rows up in the student section. It's another point to Michigan. 4-3, Michigan State over Michigan as Michigan gets the serve back. On the serve now, Mira Chopra back on the serving stand. Sends it across to Michigan State, who handles it pretty cleanly. Going for the spike. Blocked at the line by Nyambo and Simmons. Michigan still getting grasp on it, but just tapped over the line by Dezima there. 5-3, Michigan State over Michigan. Serving back from Michigan, number 14, Hold'em.
Trying to add to her pretty remarkable day.
Ooh.
Michigan snags that point with a spike. Makes it 4-5 for Michigan State.
I believe that was Saj McBurrows getting her first action of the day. Just absolutely sending that one through the pavement with a great play there. But yeah, 4-5 now, still Michigan State, as that serve attempt by Morgan Burke hits the net, falls short. 4-6, Michigan State still. Say 14 kill day for number 14, Tyler Hold'em, who leads the Spartans with 117 kills on the year. For a frame of reference, Kendall Murray came to this game leading Michigan with about 87 kills on the season, I believe. So Hold'em has been having herself an incredible season so far. And this is just another stop on that, which in this kind of stacked conference with, as we mentioned earlier, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Minnesota, Penn State, Ohio State, Purdue, you really need to have those playmakers, those just absolute monsters out there that can go out and get you 14 kills in a game. It's going to be really imperative when they start playing some of these better defenses that Nebraska and that Wisconsin have for the Spartans. They're looking to compete. They've got some talent. They've got some good returners. As they score the point here, number 12, Evie Dozman on that one. Just kind of taps it over the line. Michigan doesn't quite get a handle on it. And the score now stands at 8-4, Michigan State over Michigan. As Michigan State still serving. Dozman, after that point, gets to serve it back across to the Wolverines. Fielded by Nyambo. And Lydia Johnson manages to squeak one through. Just managed to get it past the blockers up there. Point for Michigan. Score now stands at 8-5. 3-point lead for the Spartans as Maddie Cochran comes back into the game, ready to serve up this for the Wolverines. Fielded cleanly by the Spartans, who are looking for their own spike across. Blocked by Murray and Nyamba, but unfortunately still the point down And Nyamba is not getting back up yet. She's holding her ankle. She's trying to get up, has not been able to. This could be very bad for the Wolverines, who are already not having a super great day. And if Nyambo is actually injured here, it's not going to be great. She did go up pretty high for that block there. Looks like she came down kind of awkward, kind of collided with Kendall Murray up in the air there. She's being checked out now by the trainer and by the coach. So hopefully she'll be okay, but obviously this is not looking great. Coach Jenkins out there with the trainer trying to help her back up.
Doesn't look like they can help her to her feet.
They're about to help her to her feet, but instead they've now motioned over for the other trainer here. Now she's able to kind of get up. She's not putting much weight. She is limping bad. This is not a great sign. Nyambo is one of the better girls up front that we have. Very tall. Today she had a couple missteps, but overall she's been very strong for the Wolverines this year. She's been doing very well with us. She's had 66 kills on the year. That is 4th on the team. She's been have a lot of playing time. She's been there a lot on this game. 25 block assists, 28 total blocks on the season, 81.5 points. That's 3rd best on the team. So she is someone who's been contributing very heavily to this Wolverine team. That's already dealing with some youth and some experience. So hopefully this is just a slight tweak. Hopefully she will be able to come back soon. But she does not look like she's doing well on the bench over there. She's definitely done for the day. And in comes number 7, Morgan Burke, to replace her. As Michigan State still has a serve, Michigan State is up 9-5. Able to get a point back there, no, as Kendall Murray just lost one over the hands of the blockers and is able to score one for the Wolverines, score one for Serena, as is now 6-9. Still in favor of the Spartans, still a 3-point lead for them. And the serve by Brooke Humphreys, fielded cleanly by Michigan State. Berger sets it, and Hold'em comes in, doesn't quite get it through. Kendall tries herself, and that one does fall. Manages to power it through the hands of the blockers. Finds pay dirt. 7-9 for the Spartans over the Wolverines. That's a great play by Kendall Murray. She's going to continue to be the star of this team. That was her. Showing from up at the stat board, because of course we have our 3D graphic packages in there. As her 6th kill on the night. A little bit quieter than that though. Amalia Simmons has had 7 kills to Kendall Murray's 6. As that point ends in a point for Michigan State, making it 7-10 in favor of the Spartans. Get into the middle part of this 3rd set here. Michigan State again up 2-0 in terms of sets over the Wolverines. As Michigan State gets ready to serve it off, number 17, Jalen Swain hits the net. That is a fault, and that's going to be a point for the Wolverines. As the band serenades them with the classic "You Messed Up" trombone wail. Sky Johnson takes over the serve for the Wolverines. Only down 2 points, 8-10, hoping to make this comeback and at least claim a set from the Spartans. Trying to win 3 straight sets is a heck of an achievement, but for now we're hoping that we can at least get 1 set, get a little bit of something out today. As Kendall Murray goes for the spike here, able to be saved though by the Spartans. As Hold'em gets her 15th kill of the night. It is now 11-8, Michigan State over Michigan. Hold'em might be one of the best volleyball players I've seen live. She's been having every time she goes up there for that spike, she manages to find it somehow.
Yeah, I agree. She's definitely controlling the game. The story of the game is definitely her and her 15 kills.
Oh yeah. And now Milani Yasia on the serve. Able to be fielded pretty cleanly there by Michigan, but is not able to send it back over. That's another point for Michigan State as the Spartans now lead 12-8 over the Wolverines. Nalani Yasia on the season actually has 53 aces on the year. Oh, no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. She has 16 service aces on the year. That's second on the team, which is pretty remarkable for a sophomore such as herself. As Michigan State still has control of the ball, blocked there by Kendall Murray. We'll try that again from Hold'em, who does find it that time. Kendall Murray sent home packing the first time. She said, let's try this again, and that time it did work. 16th kill of the night, compared to 4 for Dezima and 2 apiece for Julia Bishop and for her teammates, number 19, Amani MacArthur. Great save there. Great set there by Sky Johnson. Diving save by Michigan State, but it hits the pole. That is another point for Michigan. Wolverines now trail 4. They trail 9-13 to the Spartans. Sorry, they do trail 9. Scoreboard is much slower than I am right now. Honestly, I think I should do both jobs because this guy is not very good at his job, but it's my first day here. I should probably not get too cocky. I digress. Kendall Murray here, waiting to serve herself for the Wolverines. Sends it over to the Spartans, who are able to take control of it. Whoa! Oh my goodness. What a play there. That was number 6. That was Saj McBurrows, and that was Amalia Simmons, just absolutely not letting Michigan State get the opportunity to spike it over, and instead just saying, no, we're going to take care of this for you, and slammed it down in their face, which brought the score to 10-13. Unfortunately, Kendall Murray has just served the ball into the back of her net, so it's now 10-14. Spartans still lead by 4 in the middle part of this third set here. Julia Bishop back on the serve for the Spartans. Served pretty well, cleanly retrieved by the Wolverines. And Saj McBurrows, I don't know who pissed her off today, but she just killed that ball into Michigan State territory. That is another point for the Wolverines, brings up to 11-14. I feel like Saj didn't come into a third set, but she's automatically made an impact once Racer showed up. That is her 3rd kill of the set, 3rd kill of the game. Malia sends over, got blocked. State still in control of it. Looking to send it back over. Oh, and that's a tough play there. Sky Johnson tried to make a diving play at it. Didn't realize that Kendall could have had it behind her. Instead of making the play, ends up just punching it out of bounds. That is an out of bounds point for Michigan State. As a timeout gets called. Score is right now 15-11. Michigan State winning over Michigan. As we take a quick breather here in the middle of our third set.
We've got a Michigan sing-along going on right now.
I believe they're playing some Taylor Swift right now, I believe.
That is accurate.
James, do you consider yourself a fan of the NFL?
The NFL, yes. I'm a big fan.
So what's your, for those of you that don't know, there have been some rumors going around the past few weeks that international pop star Taylor Swift has been secretly dating Travis Kelce, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, 2-time Super Bowl champion. What are your thoughts on that, James?
Well, I've heard those rumors because when she was performing in Arrowhead, he tried to approach her with his phone number on a friendship bracelet, but
very famously so.
Right, but did not end up getting it to her. But from what I understand, they've been talking recently. I'm a little conflicted because I'm a Taylor Swift fan myself, and I am not a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs whatsoever.
I see.
So I've felt few of my worlds clashing, you could say, but
understandable.
But from what I understand, I think they'd be a good match together. And if it's true, I hope the rumors are true.
I hope they're true too. Travis Kelce is just one of the nicest guys to see.
Right.
He has his podcast, New Heights, with his brother Jason Kelce, which is probably one of the best sports podcasts out there.
Yep.
He's such a great guy, and a lot of the podcast has been Jason, who is married, talking about how nice his married life is, as Travis begrades being single. So. As Taylor Swift finishes being played here, we'll finish this conversation about Taylor Swift and return back to the volleyball game at hand. As a reminder, Michigan State 15, Michigan 11. In the third set here, Michigan winning in sets 2-0. The fans have started to file out a little bit, but it is still a very full house for a Friday night. The students here have said, no, I will not go out on a Friday night. I will not go to the bars. I will not go to parties. I will come support our Wolverines in volleyball, and they're here doing just that. As the Michigan State serve goes off the hands of the Wolverines, out of bounds for a point for Michigan State. Score goes to 16-11, still in favor of Michigan State. Again, Hold'em on the serve, keeping her remarkable night going. And there we go, Amalia Simmons sneaks another kill in there. She has, I believe it's her 8th kill of the night, bringing Michigan to 12, 4-point deficit to Michigan State. And of course, as kind of under the radar as always, I mean, she is spectacular. She's one of the leaders on this team. But Scotty Johnson with 12 assists on the day. Kendall Murray, Amalia Simmons, and Mia Chopra have all had really good nights, and a lot has been thanks to Scotty Johnson setting them up. As that goes off the hands of the Wolverines trying to block the Michigan State attack. Michigan State scores the point there, 17-12, Michigan State over Michigan. It's back to Dozovan on the serve, fielded clean by Michigan. And, whoa, Lydia Johnson tries to spike it, gets sent right back, bounce off a few Wolverines, ends up falling out of bounds. Score all of a sudden is now 18 points to Michigan State, 7 points away from ending the night of the Wolverines. Scores 12-18 still, as Dozeman is still on the serve. Sends it across. Simmons fields it pretty clean. Sets and spikes it clean. Oh,
hit the scoreboard.
Hit the scoreboard on the save by the Spartans. And falling backwards, number 16, Grace Kelly, is unable to get the ball. Her men going backwards, couldn't get enough behind it. Ball hits the net. It's a point for the Wolverines. Scores 13-18. Michigan down by 5 against the Spartans over here. Maddie Cochran on the serve, smacking that ball, visualizing success. Hits it. Should have visualized a little bit harder because that ball lands in the net. That is another foul for Maddie. Point goes to Michigan State, 19-13. 6-point lead for the Spartans, 6 points away from a victory as well. As Berger, I forget what we agreed on, but Berger goes back to the service line. We'll step off it as a timeout is called by the Wolverines. We're going to take a quick minute as the players rest up before what is surely the final stretch of this game.
Yeah, this third set's feeling very much more similar to the first than the second one.
It's feeling a little inevitable at this point.
Yeah.
I hate to say it because I do love the Wolverines. I do love our girls. They've been putting up a good fight, but as the band tries to get the crowd back into it with the greatest fight song ever written, The Victors, unfortunately, this night is looking like it's going to be a wrap for the Wolverines very soon. October 6th, we are back here for our next home game, which is going to be a pink out in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So if you're in Ann Arbor, if you're around, please do come by and support. If you're not, though, we will be here broadcasting that game on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe so you can find us when that does happen. And, of course, with all of our other broadcasts, the football broadcasts we have on every Saturday, regardless if it's home or away, for all of our soccer games in the fall. Did you realize, James, hockey starts in like 2 weeks?
2 weeks?
Hockey, ice hockey, it always sneaks up on us, but hockey season starts very soon. And so when that season starts, we will have every Michigan hockey game, every home game, and hopefully a good chunky away game will be covered by us right here on the YouTube channel and on 88.3 FM, 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor, calling out some of those games. So do stay tuned if you're a fan of the hockey. Hockey team's done very well for itself the past couple of years, just haven't been able to quite finish the deal in the Frozen Four. But a lot to look forward to.
Right.
Going back to the action here, Berger with the serve, fielded by Humphreys, as Michigan still leads 19-13 over the Wolverines. And that is a point for the Wolverines as the Spartans commit a line violation. 14-19 Spartans over the Wolverines as Brooke Humphreys gets ready to serve. Brooke Humphreys, as we mentioned earlier, Hannah Grant, who has not been seen action since August, was the libero for this team over the last couple of years, but that seems to have been handed over to Humphreys as we get a point here on the blocks from Saj McBurrows, Kendall Murray, and Lydia Johnson up front. Send that back. Serve again by Humphreys. Michigan State looks to send it back across. Blocked again by Lydia Johnson and Saj McBurrows, keeping Michigan State at bay. I'm sorry, excuse me. That's an 8, not 6. That was Mira Chopra. 6 and 8s look very similar, especially from this far up. It looks like that point went to Michigan State instead. We thought the ball landed on state side, ended up falling on our side. Doesn't really matter though, as the serve by Jalen Swain goes long, goes out of bounds, and has a point for the Wolverines. As the band serenades them once again with the You Messed Up trombone salute. You all know the one, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all. Sky Johnson back on the serve. Looking to close this 4-point deficit, 16-20. Spartans still leading. Sends it over, fielded by the Spartans. Hold'em tried to get another point, but didn't work out this time, as Mira Chopra was right there on the defense, blocked it right back. Ball hits the ground. Point for the Wolverines, 17-20. Still down 3, but this is their kind of last gasp effort, hoping to not get fully swept by the Spartans.
Right, Michigan does not want to go down without a fight right here.
Absolutely not.
Looks like they're trying to steal this set, and who knows? Crazier things have happened.
Which honestly, if we could just get this one set, I would be happy. Not only does it mean that I can spend more time with you up here in the booth, but it does give our girls something to look forward to. It does give this team that sense that we can't compete. Even when we're down 2 sets, back against the wall, a team that's having a better night than us, some players that are having better nights than us, we can still come back, keep it together, and win this one, win at least one game, win at least one of them for Serena, who has now actually left the bench, probably back in the back now, getting checked out by the trainers. Hopefully she'll be okay. You can stay up to date, follow Michigan Volleyball on Twitter, and MGoBlue, the athletics website for all things sports here at the university, for updates on her injury as they come out. Hopefully she won't be back too long, but if she does, just means that more of these girls got to step up and keep this team moving forward. With the youth of this team, the youth of the coaching staff, and how the season looks so far, 2-7. Spoilers, but probably about to be 2-8. This season probably will not result in much in terms of hardware for the Wolverines, but it's still going to be an important building year for seasons to come.
Right, yeah, if they can use this as a sort of a rebuilding year, then they can have a lot to look forward to next year and the year following.
Yeah. And despite the fact that Wolverines are mere sets away from winning, that has not damped the crowd's enthusiasm. They're happy to be here, happy to be in Chrysler, supporting volleyball on a Friday night. Once again, Sky Johnson on the serve here, looking to try to bring this back, try to get at least one set for the Wolverines as she sends that ball across the net. Attempt by the Spartans, stopped by the Wolverines. Kendall Murray finds a little bit of green, pun not intended, finds a little bit of space there on the other side of the net. Ball hits down for another point for the Wolverines, for another kill for Kendall Murray. The score goes to 18-20, still Spartans in the lead. That's Kendall Murray's 7th kill of the night, as Scotty serves once again. Ball looking was going to go long, but it was saved by Michigan State. And good thing they did, because that ball ricochets off of Scotty Johnson's upper arms and falls out of bounds as a point for the Spartans. Now 4 points away from sending all of us home and to have a lovely rest of our Fridays. 18-21, 3-point lead for the Spartans in the waning moments of this set. As the ball gets served by Milani Yasia. Ball goes out of bounds, and Michigan gets the points as another misstep on the serve for the Spartans in this set. Keeps us within 2 points, 19-21. Kendall Murray now on the serve for the Wolverines. Even when I use the mascot, I'm still messing up. Kendall Murray sends it across. Hold'em was looking for it, and she found it. Her 18th kill of the night sends Michigan State to 22 points. Some substitutions for the Spartans. Julia Bishop, one of those, coming in to serve for the Spartans right now. 19 to 22, Spartans still over the Wolverines. 3 points away from ending the night. Brooke Humphreys fields that serves pretty cleanly. Scotty sets it up for Amalia. Spartans able to hold on to that though as they send it across and find Pater. Finally a point not by Hold'em, but a point nonetheless as they go to 23 points, 23 to 19, 4-point lead over the Wolverines. As one more timeout from Michigan comes. One more chance for the band to play.
And now you'll see the fans sort of sifting out.
Now you are having a little bit of that fans starting to file out. And as this game comes to an end, one more time, I just want to thank each and every one of you, all three of you, for listening tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure to call this game. It's been a dream of mine. I'm sorry, there's 4 of you, excuse me. But it's been an absolute joy to call this game. We hope you enjoy our commentary. One more time, please make sure to follow all of us on all of our platforms, WCBN Sports. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever their social media accounts. Tune into 88.3 WCBN FM, not only for the football game tomorrow for our own commentary, but Monday through Thursday, 6 to 6:30 for our daily sports report. Those also go up on Spotify after the fact. The daily sports report on Spotify, you can search for that there and listen to those. We've just done our first week of the new year on those. Lots of talk about Michigan football, college football, lots of NFL talk. And of course, as we get more into the seasons, we'll talk hockey, we'll talk basketball, really anything world sports that comes up, we'll have our commentary on that. So please make sure you follow along with us. Hope you'll stay a fan. And with that, as the best fight song in the world comes to a close one more time before we finish this game out, Michigan State, Julia Bishop goes back to the serve as it is 23 to 19. Michigan State is looking to end this thing here. Kendall Murray takes that serve in, is able to get it across, and Michigan State is unable to send it back to us. Point for Michigan. This is now 20 to 23. Michigan State still 2 points away from winning, but Michigan could go off, score 5 in a row, and claim this set for their own, get some kind of victory out of today.
It's never over until it's over.
It's not over till it's over. Mira Chopra on the serve, and that's an ace for Mira. She's had some struggles today with her serves. That one goes through, though. And she is able to keep Michigan alive for one more play. 21 to 23. Michigan just behind Michigan State. Hopefully Mira can give us some of that magic, do that again, and we can keep alive in this game. And she does! Oh! Michigan State thought that one was going to go long. They let it go, but it hits the white line in the back. It stays in bounds, and that's another point for the Wolverines, 22 to 23. And Michigan State has to take a timeout because they do not want to lose this set.
Just as we thought we were wrapping up, Michigan is now within 1 point.
Michigan's got some life. Chrysler is rocking. On the replay, you saw it. Milana Yosia actually steps out of the way because she thinks it's going to go out of bounds because, unfortunately, Mira's not had the best night of serving, so it was not an incorrect assumption to make. No. But that ball just dropped right enough, was able to land right there on the back of their turf. Sorry, I'm getting so excited, I'm choking myself. I was able to find Pater in the back of their court, and they score again. Michigan scores again, and they're still keeping this alive. They're still 1 point behind the Spartans, 22 to 23. But this is as electric as this building has been all night. Do not count out the Wolverines until they are out, and we are not yet. We still have some left. The serve is going to go back to Mira coming out of this timeout, which is still 30 seconds away. And Mira just needs to keep this thing going. Don't overthink it. Stay with what you have. Do it again. The coach sent the same message. Grab your side. You've got this. We can do this. We just want one set. That's all we need is just one set tonight.
It seems like the Wolverines have all the momentum coming out of this timeout. It is loud in here.
It is raucous and priceless. Here we go. Mira, third serve, looking for another point for the Wolverines. Gets it across, fielded by the Spartans, sends it over. And that is a point for the Spartans, as that is Holden's 19th kill of the game, deflected off of the outstretched blocking arms of Amalia Simmons, goes out of bounds. It's a point for the Spartans. This is game point here. 24 to 22.
Holden has a chance to end it.
Holden serves, fielded by Murray. Saved by Scotty. Unfortunately falls out of bounds on the Spartan sideline. That is the end of the game. 25 to 22. Michigan wins the third set. Michigan wins the game 3 sets to 0. 25 to 14, 25 22, and 25 22. Unfortunate night for the Wolverines here. Our first loss to the Spartans in almost 6 years.
The last meeting was the polar opposite of this. It was here in Ann Arbor. The Wolverines swept the Spartans. So it looks like the Spartans got their revenge today.
Spartans did just that. It's a great game by the Spartans and by the Wolverines too. Both teams put up a good fight. The first set did look a little bit wonky for the Wolverines at times. They couldn't seem to get their handle at first, but at the second and third set, they were fighting in there.
They battled back. They never quit.
They never quit. We almost had that with Mira's last couple serves there. Looked like we were going to have a chance to maybe come back and steal a set away from the Spartans, but unfortunately didn't quite work out. They were able to just hold through. And with that, Michigan State continues their winning ways, goes on to 9-3. That is their 9th win in 10 games. And unfortunately, Michigan falls to 2-8. Michigan will be back in a few days. We'll be back in 2 days in Maryland to play the Terrapins. And 1 week from today, they'll be playing Minnesota. Michigan State will be moving along as well. Michigan State, their next couple games coming up. They have, after today, their great win against us. On Sunday, they're playing at Illinois. And then 1 week from today, next Friday, they'll be playing at Northwestern. And they're hoping to continue their winning ways to get themselves off to a good start, kind of position themselves in the upper half of the Big Ten before they start playing the Nebraskas and the Minnesotas, the Minnesotas, the Wisconsins that they have coming up on their schedule. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight here on WCBN's YouTube channel for this volleyball game between the Michigan State Spartans and the Michigan Wolverines. Tough loss for our girls, but they'll be back. James, anything else to say?
It's been a pleasure. It's been fun. You know, you can't win them all, but there's a lot of season left, and you know, it's good to stay hopeful for the Spartans. It's been a pleasure tonight.
Last season left, and we'll be here with you for that season, calling as many of these games as we possibly can. One last time, my name has been Tim. This has been James. Thank you for letting us call tonight. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a nice weekend, and as always, go blue.